sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button so you'll be notified when another amazing episode drops. So where are we gonna start? What are we gonna start off this week? Gonna start off with some MMA action, just like always. What was it? Our last event, fight MMA or UFC Fight Night. Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt. I picked Garbrandt. I thought he was gonna. I mean, after he looked pretty good in his last fight against Junior Sunsao, and I felt like he was going to be a little too much for Rob Font, but boy was I wrong. Rob Font, I think he set a record for strikes landed in the bantamweight fight. He just pieced him up. Definitely, had the superior boxing. And Garbrandt, he proved he was tough. He took a beating. But you never want to be on the losing end of a record. Rob Font. We'll see if they move him. I guess they're gonna probably do the Aljamain Sterling Peter Yan fight. That seems like the main. Maybe Rob Font is somewhere. Maybe needs to win another fight before he gets a title shot. But good showing for Rob Font. Good showing. Our next UFC Fight Night coming up is Augusta Sakai against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik, he's got big KO wins against Andrei Arlovsky, Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos. His only losses so far have been against Cyril Gane and Ngannou. And both of them train out of the same gym, and can't fault him. Those are two all right losses. Definitely can't fault him on those. Augusto Sakai, his best win is over Arlovsky, although it was a very close win. I'm gonna have to go with Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think he's just gonna be a little more powerful. And Sakai isn't bad, but I think that Rozenstruik's gonna land one a powerful shot and just flatline Sakai. With our next big event, I think it's UFC 264 maybe. Israel Adesanya against Marvin Vettori 2. I think what else is on that? Davison Figueiredo against Alex Moreno 2. They had a draw the first time. And what's the other one? Leon Edwards against Nate Diaz. I'll do a rundown of those right before that fight, but those should be some good fights. Those should be some good fights. What else do we have? We have coming up. We have the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul. It's a freak show. Does anybody really take this fight seriously? No. It's interesting to see an older, more skilled guy against a younger, more athletic. Logan Paul is clearly in better shape. Theoretically better shape. I don't know that he can actually put in the miles like Floyd can. If Floyd even still can. Does Floyd get old this fight? There's a big size difference, so we'll see. I'm a fan of combat sport, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna like it. So I gotta pick. I feel like Floyd is going to start working on the body, and I think he's gonna stop. He's gonna end up stopping him with a body shot. That's how many times, I can't even remember the last time Floyd stopped someone with a body shot, if he ever has, but it definitely hasn't been a while. But I'm calling the wild pick, Floyd by body shot knockout. And then what's coming up? They just Ty Woodley against Jake Paul. This is the first big step up in competition for Jake. Because Ben Askren, that was nothing. Ben Askren's horrible. So, I mean, Tyrone Woodley has some power. Now, he's getting a little older, but at the same time, I mean, he was literally just fighting in the UFC. So we'll see. I think this could be have been a bad decision from Jake Paul. But I mean, does it even matter if he actually loses? Is it really going? I mean, can he still fight the same? Everyone's still going to want to fight him. It's not like he's going to lose all his YouTube followers or anything. So I mean, it's a win-win for him, really. So it is what it is. But let's get into some NBA action now. Let's see, the Bucks swept the Heat 4-0, making it look like the Heat just that was a fluke last year in the bubble, and that they really were not as good as they wound up having, as their season wound up being. I mean, having a much more successful season than they actually were. Yeah, so Bucks swept them, looked pretty good. Denver 4-2 over Portland. Yeah, I mean, Denver looked good. Jokic looked good. He's my MVP pick. So Dame Lillard played amazing, had like 55 points one game and still lost. He needs to get out of there, get out of Portland, go somewhere where you can win. You're wasting your career away in Portland. They're never going to win a title. I mean, you see, even Clyde Drexler had to get out of there eventually. I mean, you gotta go, Dame. Gotta go. It's Dame time. Time to go. Let's see. Philly over the Wizards 4-1. Embiid got hurt, and Philly was still able to win. Ben Simmons still can't shoot. It's insane how someone can get that far without ever learning how to shoot. How does the man make it to the NBA without knowing how to shoot? What was he practicing? Was he out there practicing defense? I don't understand what he was practicing when he was a kid on courts. Like, I mean, what was it? I don't understand. He was practicing defense and making assists. I mean, how can he not shoot? That doesn't make sense. Utah over Memphis 4-1. Donovan Mitchell looked good. Utah looked good. Ja Morant played pretty good, but just wasn't able to do enough. Utah was a much better team. The Nets 4-1 over the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics were shorthanded, not having Jaylen Brown. I mean, would it really have mattered that much if they'd have had Jaylen Brown? I mean, they still weren't going to be enough I mean, I was surprised they even got one game out of it. So, I mean, and then at the end of the series, Danny Ainge retired, and Brad Stevens is going to take his position. So now they're on the hunt for a new coach. So, there was so much optimism a couple years ago, and it's just they had so much draft capital, and it just seemed like everything was going good, and then like the signing of Gordon Hayward, and I mean, he just never wound up being what he was supposed to be, and Al Horford never really was that great, and then he left, and Gordon Hayward left, so yeah. Let's see, Atlanta over New York 4-1. Trae Young looked great. I mean, looked great. Had a great series. New York choked. Julius Randle played like garbage, didn't show up. So all that optimism that all you New York fans had, they just do what the Knicks do. Let's see, the Suns over the Lakers 4-2. Anthony Davis got hurt, and that was pretty much the end of the series. The Suns had won game 1. Then the Lakers won games 2 and 3, and it looked like that was pretty much the end of it. And then Anthony Davis got hurt, and they just weren't able to win another game. But you can't. I mean, DeAndre Ayton played great. Chris Paul was able to muscle through with an injured shoulder. And he played pretty good. But Devin Booker, I mean, just played amazing. had like 47 points in the closeout, or was it 47? It was something like that in the closeout. Yeah, LeBron, first time he's been knocked out in the first round. I don't know. I mean, he was in the running for the MVP earlier in the season, but this series, he didn't look like we've gotten accustomed to seeing him. Like, he definitely didn't seem like he could really turn it on. I don't know. Was this the end of it? Or was he? I mean, because he had missed 20-some-odd games because was it the ankle injury? That might have been the end of the LeBron as we know him. I mean, now clearly he's still great. He'll be able to, be like a Magic. He could probably play another 10 years being a Magic Johnson style player. But the guy who could just take over any game at any time, that might be done. And let's see. And the Mavs up 3-2 over the Clippers. The only first round series still going on. Mavs, Luka's been playing unbelievable. And it's just, yeah, that's amazing. Even with Kawhi Leonard going nuts the way he's been, that the Mavs have still been able to stay ahead. And I mean, is Dallas really gonna? I mean, this is, or no. What am I even talking about? Yeah, no. So Dallas tied it up, or no, the Clippers tied up. So now it's 3-3 because Kawhi Leonard had 47 points last night. So Game 7. Is Luka gonna be able to pull him through, or is Kawhi gonna be able to pull him through? Luka's still only 22 years old. Kawhi, I mean, he's already got several Finals MVPs. So if I had to call it, I feel like I want the Mavs to win, but you kind of got to feel like the Clippers probably have more. I mean, they definitely have more experience, and then they've still got Paul George and Kawhi. So, and Paul George hasn't been playing that amazing. Playoff P has not been stepping up. But so let's see. Our second round series are the Bucks against the Nets. I feel like the Nets are probably going to pull that out. I don't know if Giannis is going to be able to do enough to stop that three-headed monster of the Nets. We got Atlanta against Philly. We'll see what happens with Embiid. If Embiid's not able to come back, which I don't think he is. I don't know. I think he's got like a torn meniscus. It's a slight tear, but I don't know if he's going to be back by the second round. Atlanta might be able to pull off an upset there, if it even really is an upset, if they don't have Embiid. We'll see. Trae Young, he's still young, but he's playing like a grown man. Denver against the Suns. Even though the Suns just knocked off the defending champion Lakers, I'm still going to have to, I think Denver is probably just got more weapons. And how's Chris Paul even going to be? Is he still injured? How is he going to be 100%? What kind of Chris Paul are we going to get? Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, they're good, but I don't know if they're gonna be as good enough to beat Denver. So I'm gonna have to pick Denver. And then our final series will be Utah against the winner of the Dallas Clippers series. If that's I kind of have the winner of the Dallas Clippers series beating Utah. So that's even though Utah was the number one seed, I still kind of I like the way that they've been playing. The winner of the Utah or of the Clippers Dallas series, I would have favored. Let's see, and finally in some baseball action, American League. What do we have? We have Tampa, followed by the White Sox and Boston. Then National League, we got San Francisco, San Diego, and then the Dodgers. We got Vlad Guerrero, Fernando Tatis, and Ronald Acuna tied with 17 homers. And Adolis Garcia with 16 and Shohei Ohtani with 15. So some big, putting up some big home run totals so far. It's a nice race. But so you can find us on Trauma Television on YouTube, because this is Trauma Television production, on Trauma Television on Facebook, on Big Scary on Facebook, and on Big Scary on Twitter. And as Martin Luther King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice.